Cloning has long caught the imagination of fans, from Star Wars to Jurassic Park. However, it has moved beyond science fiction and into everyday reality. Many people have heard of Dolly the sheep, possibly the most famous cloned animal. However, for a variety of reasons, scientists have successfully cloned many more interesting species since then. The following are 5 unusual animals that have been successfully cloned. Cats. Scientists cloned the first pet in 2001, a few years after Dolly the sheep. A team of Texas A&M biomedical scientists collected cells from a cat named Rainbow, blasted them with electricity, allowed them to grow in a petri dish, and then implanted them into a surrogate mother. Cece was the end result. Some people think her name means copycat or carbon copy. Rainbow was genetically identical to her, but she had a different coat pattern and attitude. She lived for another 18 years till 2020. Cloning pets has grown in popularity since its inception more than 2 decades ago. This has been aided by the rise of pet influencers on the internet. When a young cat with 85,000 Instagram followers died unexpectedly in 2017, its owner donated some of its skin cells to a pet cloning company. She was given a genetically identical clone 4 years later. Cloned pets, according to the cloning firm, are practically identical twins of the original animal. Dogs. Recently, celebrities have joined the pet cloning bandwagon. Barbra Streisand cloned her dog Sammy twice in 2018. A pet influencer had 6 clones of her Instagram famous dog manufactured the same year after the original died in a sad accident. The capacity to clone dogs dates back to 2005, when a South Korean research team successfully generated Snuppy. Snuppy was created from a single cell extracted from the ear of an Akan hound. He was the only long-term survivor of the 1,095 eggs placed in surrogates, making him a scientific marvel at the time. Other teams attempted to clone dogs but found the restricted breeding period of dogs and the difficulties of collecting eggs too tough. South Korea, on the other hand, began cloning canines to use in services, such as sniffing for drugs in airports, after they got the hang of it. Arctic wolves. Cloning could be used to help endangered animals survive. That was the impetus for scientists in Beijing to present the first living Arctic wolf clone in 2022. Maya is a gray-brown wolf pup, which is typically found in northern Canada. She was developed using the same procedure as Dolly the sheep, the world's first cloned mammal, in 1996. Maya was the sole survival of 85 cells transplanted into surrogates. Her species is assessed to be at low danger of extinction. Nonetheless, climate change poses a threat to its food source, and human projects including as roads and pipelines are increasingly being erected on wolf habitat. Black-footed ferrets. In 2021, the first endangered animal in the United States was cloned. The population of black-footed ferrets on the North American continent has declined to the point where biologists declared the species extinct in 1979. The breeding program was launched 2 years later after a farmer spotted a tiny number of them on his land. The species, however, has been on the verge of extinction ever since. Because the population was so limited, the breeding program struggled to achieve genetic diversity. Elizabeth Ann, the cloned ferret, was created from the cells of a 30-year-old black-footed ferret. Scientists think she will be the first of several clones that will help diversify the extremely endangered species stock. Animals become more susceptible to diseases and genetic defects when their genetic variety is reduced. Bantengs. A banteng, a type of wild cow native to the Indonesian island of Java, was the first endangered species to be cloned. The clone was generated in 2003 using frozen tissue from a banteng who died more than 20 years before. There were only 2 births out of 16 surrogate pregnancies. However, the other banteng did not survive. Nonetheless, the project was more successful than prior efforts in 2001 to clone a Gore, an endangered Asian ox. The clone was born but only lived for 2 days. Although some experts were skeptical about the clone's health and pointed out that some cloned animals died significantly sooner than their normally reproduced counterparts, the Banteng researchers emphasize how genetic variety is critical for the endangered Banteng population. As long as the clones can produce normal offspring, the initiative may be able to achieve its ultimate goal of assisting the species.